What up, guys? Welcome to Base Damage. Billy is back. How's it going? I know that was a weird introduction. Anyway, yeah, so I realized I haven't posted like any podcast stuff in a fuck long time. And I got reasons, sure. I got new job and I've been working towards it, but which has been awesome, by the way. Actually, as me driving a big truck and whatnot. So anywho, that's going very well. Before we really get into this and get into today's podcast, which will be continuing Konosuba, so just be prepared for that. First off, for that, I did try to record with Moroku, but it ended up not working out well because his internet just completely shat on him. Me and Kyle weren't able to record because the day we were going to record, he got called in for work early, and it was like, oh, damn, can't help that. You got to do what you got to do, man. So we just kind of said, fuck it, I'll record when I get back. 2 weeks later, I'm here. So, about 3 weeks, actually. So, anyway, let's see. So, like I said, first off, been doing a new job. Wanted to say thank you to the people who posted comments and whatnot. Saying, congrats on the new job, good luck with it, and between people from Facebook, between people from YouTube comments and whatnot. So it was really, really grateful for hearing those types of things. Thank you very much for those, and thank you for breaking the usual YouTube stereotype of the dreaded YouTube comment section being bad or anything of that nature. No, y'all are fucking awesome. But with that, there have been quite a few things announced and whatnot. I know I already said we're going over Konosuba, the second booster. We got Fate Apocrypha confirmed. We are getting it, which this is, I'm going to express a slight concern. Oh, shit. That got pushed back. Huh. Okay, so as the day recording this, they actually have pushed back the Bang Dream back a little bit. That's interesting. Because the week that I'm posting up this, Gurren Lagann is coming out. And that looks like that date hasn't changed. But I swear, I just looked at this yesterday. And the Bang Dream still said July 27th or July 28th or whatever the fuck it was. So they have pushed back the date to August 3rd. If there was a Facebook post for it, I haven't seen it yet, put it that way. And, oh yeah, today is just a Billy solo cast. So I have water to the side, and I'm going to be talking a lot. So, anywho, because we were going to have 2 this month, maybe they decided to go ahead and push this to next month. Because otherwise, it would have been like 2.5 months of nothing before Fate Apocrypha. So now we're only getting roughly, 2-ish months, but still there's nothing for the month of September. So, but I am really, really happy for Fate Apocrypha being out. I am going to be trying to go over that set very, very soon, because that is out in Japan already, to my knowledge. If I'm incorrect on that, I apologize. But I will be checking that very soon here. And hell, I might end up pre-recording a podcast or 2 to try to talk about the cards in there and whatnot. So, also got to talk about the Trial Deck Plus at some point. No, I went over the Trial Deck Plus, I think. Yeah. Anyway, it's been a long couple weeks, y'all, so bear with me. Anywho, let's get right into this. We still have no confirmed date for ReZero or Konosuba. So, so last time on part 1, we had gone over all the yellow cards, because there was 40 yellow cards for Konosuba set 2. So for this, I'm going to try to go over red and blue within the same podcast, because it's been for fuck ever and I want to just kind of knock it out. Part 2 has been a long time incoming, like a good month and a half, maybe month and a week or some bullshit like that. Anyway, but as per usual, I'm also mostly just going to stick to double rares and rares. So if there are any uncommons or commons that y'all feel deserve a shout out or deserve to be recognized, please comment it in the comment section. It would be greatly appreciated for that, so that way other people can see, like, hey, look, there's this really broken ass uncommon over here, or something of that nature, or a climax combo that you feel should be people should be notified about, like, hey, this is something good to look towards. So, but let's get into this. So, for red, we're mostly going to have we're basically going to have Megumin, Union, and Wiz. And I apologize if I butcher any pronunciations. Like I said, it's been a fuck long while. Let's see. I'm going to be go ahead and opening up some tabs here, about 4 or 5 at a time. Just depends on what my computer can handle. But yeah, no, this is going to be really cool. I'm really excited, for this set, because the first set was bananas. I don't care what anyone said. I liked the first set. It had its moments, and I'm hoping that, what was it? Most of what I saw run, as far as like level 1 advantage engines, was one of two things, and that was either the Megumin from the trial deck, which was like a salvage. So if you ended up going against any one of the 2 decks that have anti-salvage in the game, you were kind of fucked. But I say that, but then there was the, oh my goodness, I think it was a level 1 Eris combo that was really awesome and ended up like summoning back characters really easily. So she was really awesome, and that was kind of the only 2 advantage engines. I believe in the part 1 we saw a darkness that had a searching effect. I could be incorrect on that. Like I said, it's been a bit. So, okay, so let's get right into this. We have Megumin in swimsuit. I know everyone's like, oh, that's the sound of the police, coming after me for this. Anyway, so, all right. So Megumin in swimsuit this is starting off double rares, 0035. You can't play events or backup from hand, kind of reminiscent to, there was a level 0 4K Xenon in, I can't remember if it was in re-edit or the movie pack. I want to say it was re-edit that had the same effect. So it didn't have the second effect, but it had the first one. So this ability activates up to once per turn. When this becomes reversed in battle, put the top card of your library in the waiting room. If it's level 2 or higher, you may rest this. What the fuck? Coin flip simulator on a level 0? Okay. Coin flip simulator is a meme of a deck that just runs a ridiculously high level 2 and level 3 count so that you can use effects like this to basically be able to save your cards, bounce cards back to hand, have other effects go off and whatnot. So I just think this is funny. Dear God, if we get fucking coin flip simulator, fucking Konosuba, that would be insane. Anyway, so really funny effect here, and it basically has a chance to save itself. That's, if I'm reading this right, like, I'm just glancing over the effect one more time. So 1, it's a mill if you do have salvage effects. 2, that's also if it becomes reversed. So that gives me a kind of a idea here. So you're either going to go one of 2 things. If you have to deal with level 0 reversers, this effect will go off. But because of how big it is, your opponent's not going to waste resources on it more than likely if they know that it can potentially be saved. The downside to this is it may not end up getting reversed until level 1. Until your opponent's at level 1 or whatever. At which there's no point in saving. Well, it's mandatory, it seems. Oh, no. The mill is mandatory, according to this, but the resting is optional. That's weird. But because of that, there's no point in saving a level 0 like that for your opponent just to have a target every turn. So it's a really crazy effect, yes, but it's also one of those, like, there's pros and cons to it. If your opponent does use resources to try to get over this, there's a chance that all of those resources that they use to be able to get over this at level 0 were for nothing. And if you ram into like a level 0 reverser, there's the chance that you can come out on top. So it's a really, like I said, you don't want to have to be using this effect if your opponent has level 1s. Reason being, example like with AOT, the on reverse climax combos that the level 1 errands have that are really broken. You don't want to have to deal with that. I say, the level 1 errands specifically, anything that's like an on reverse climax combo or plussing engine, you don't want to leave a target every single turn for them. So that's one of those times where you don't want to do it. Either way, you get a mill, which is kind of cool. So, anywho, I realize I spent a lot of time talking about that card. I apologize, but it's one of those effects I had to analyze. So Bunny Girl Union, we have the next one is Bunny Girl Union. We have 1-0-4000. So already into the climax combos. If all your characters are magic, this gets 2000 power. That's constant on either player's turn. That's really cool. So, climax combo, when the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, if Light of Saber, and I don't think that is a Fate reference, is in your climax zone, put up to one card from the top of your library in your stock. Then reveal the top card of your library. If it's a level 1 or higher, put it in your hand. Okay. I can see where this is an interesting... It generates some extra stock, as well as has the chance of just getting cards back to your hand. This may not be like an effect you'd want to like throw down 3 copies of, but admittedly, the more copies of this you throw down, the higher chances you have of plussing off of any one of them, I guess. It really just depends on your counts. But see, this is also interesting because so many decks, as far as like competitive, I see have high-ass level 0 counts, and this would require lower level 0 counts. And I realize, especially where it says climax cards are considered level 0, you don't get to add climaxes in any way, shape, or form. You're already playing one for this, so you can kind of rule one of them out if nothing else. But between high-ass level 0 counts that I see for people making deck profiles, especially, I know it's a joke saying a lot of like California players, people like over on the West Coast, tend to have like 18 to 20 level 0s. So imagine that plus 8 climaxes, minus the one we're playing. You have a lot of cards and a lot of level 0s in the deck that are going to make it so this effect doesn't go off, if that is how you construct the deck. So let's also take a look at Light of Saber. With her having a buff that gets her up to 6k, I doubt it's going to be like a 1k1 or anything. I could be wrong. Looks like it has 2 alternate arts, which is going to be cool. Come on, load up. Oh, I was incorrect. Light of Saber is a 1k1 salvage. So I wouldn't have expected it. But that makes her be like a 107k for this effect. I guess that's a fair trade-off considering the effect isn't always going to plus if you have a high level 0 count. So, it's kind of whatever, but it's not bad, especially extra stock's always nice. It's just because it's a blind stock, so you don't know what it is. It could be climaxes or whatever the fuck. So, anywho, alrighty. Also, I need to scroll back up here. Okay, so Explosion Girl Mega Mean. So, already into a level 3. So we have 3-2, 95 to Soul. If the Mega Mean in swimsuit is in your clock, she gets -1 level in your hand. So the one we mentioned before, that was the coin flip effect. When this is placed from hand to stage, put the top 3 cards of your library in the waiting room. If there is at least one character with adventure or magic amongst them, put up to 1 card from the top of your library in your stock. Okay, this is reminiscent of one of the level 3s from the Nizakoi Sweets deck. I'm liking this so far. If there are at least 2, choose a character in your opponent's front row, and that character gets -4000 power. If there are at least 3, you can deal 1 damage to your opponent. Let's see. That Nizakoi level 3 had a heal. Well, basically, it was the same mill 3. The milling 3 is mandatory, regardless of what you hit and what effects go off. But let's see, that level 3 from Nizakoi had like a clock shoot ability if you ended up milling 3 Sweets characters. A buffing effect if you milled 2, and a healing... no, it was a buff effect if you healed 1, a healing if you milled 2, and a clock shoot ability if you hit 3, which was like an on-reverse clock shoot. So... This isn't bad. The fact you can early play it as well kind of makes it a little bit better, in my personal opinion. I don't see this being played as a 4 of, by any means. Like, because you don't know. You basically, to maximize your chances, you wouldn't be able to run events. Because if you mill any climaxes off of this in a deck with no events whatsoever, that is your best chances of making so all 3 of these effects go off. Now, the cool thing is actually the first effect. Which is if you mill at least 1 character, you can put up to 1 card from the top of your library in your stock. It's a blind stock, but you essentially, in the long run, paid 1 stock to get out a 95 to Soul. So that's a fair trade-off. If you don't get the burn off, that's perfectly fine. You are more than making up for it. So I can't see this being like a play set, but I can see it being run nonetheless. So that's pretty cool. Ice Witch Wiz. We have another level 3 Wiz. The one from the first set was kind of lackluster to me. Wasn't bad, just was like eh. So a 3/2 10k 2 soul. When it's placed from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a character with adventure or magic, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. I like that. Climax combo. When the battle opponent becomes reversed, if Cursed Crystal Prison is in your climax zone, you can pay the cost, which is 2 stock and discarding a adventurer or magic character. If you do stand this and your opponent cannot use, where it says S abilities is act abilities, right? Yeah, S means startup as far as when you're looking at stuff on Heart of the Cards, which in Japanese is the act abilities. So your opponent can't use act abilities of characters on his or her stage until the next end of your opponent's turn. That prevents them from doing like brainstorming effects and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. It really depends on the deck that you're going up against. Like obviously that shuts down brainstormers, but it doesn't stop auto effects of like on play effects or whatever, or climax combos. The fact of her standing is really good. Now before anyone else states, I'm going with what this is being worded. It says characters on the stage until the next end of the turn. So that means your opponent could still play character backups. Yes, character backups are listed as acts, but they don't hit the field. Character backups are discarded directly to the graveyard, which is why they don't check for color. So you could drop a red backup in an all-blue deck type thing. But it's because they don't hit the field in any way, shape, or form that you can do that to begin with. So this effect of hers will not in any way, shape, or form affect character backups. Because even though it's an act, it doesn't hit the stage. This will still, shut down quite a few, good effects, tapping effects and whatnot. Some tap searchers or whatever the fuck. So there's still quite a few effects that will hit, especially brainstormers. Brainstorming effects are, to my knowledge, all act abilities. I can't think of any ones that aren't. Put it that way. I guess you could consider like the level 0 Sugu from the SAO movie pack. Even though like Mills 4, it's an auto effect when a climax is placed. Anyway, it's not like a brainstorm. It's not the usual typical brainstormers. But anyway, so let's also see what Cursed Crystal Prison is. Go back down. So Cursed Crystal Prison. I may end up only going over double rares. This video is going to be a lot of me talking. So, come on. Load up. Okay. So Cursed Crystal Prison is a split 2k and assault. No. Choose up to 2 of your red characters. So there's another limitation which makes it so you can give 2 characters 3,000 power and 1 soul. That's kind of cool. Pardon me one sec. I gotta keep wetting the whistle here. So I like that big ass buff. So if you are doing just like an all Megumin, Union, and Wiz deck anyway, this is where this climax combo is really gonna shine. As far as like climax in general, is the fucking 3k to 2 different characters. Fuck yes, that's cool. Like to me, that's awesome. Considering she herself is a 10k, and she has to reverse, so that makes her, as long as she's the target of one of these, a 13,003 soul before any other buffs. So I'm all for it. That's pretty cool. Like obviously the cost isn't that bad either, as far as like, because it's on reverse. But either way, yep. Just want to make certain I was looking at the right climax. So Cursed Crystal Prison, freaking awesome. Okay, so that was all the double rares. Let's see. So kind of giving a little bit of a rare sneak peek here. Fuck it. Let's go ahead and go over this one while I have it up here. When your other character becomes reversed in battle, choose one of your characters. That character gets 1,000 power. Cool. Choose one of your characters with either adventurer or magic, and that character gains the ability until end of turn. You have to pay 1 and rest this for this effect. When the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, you may choose a character in your waiting room and return it to your hand. Okay, so you basically can use this ability, pay 1, tap her, give a character on reverse salvage. Right? Yeah, I want to make certain. So this is a neat little back row card to have. But this is an example of like one of those act abilities that the other Wiz could stop. So one interesting little thing you could do is to guarantee the Wiz stand effect being able to go off is by playing that other Megumin, the other level 3 Megumin, and if you get the second effect to go off, you can give a character minus 4,000. So whatever character the Wiz is trying to reverse, it's as if the Wiz is like 17,000-ish. Because you're going to be able to drop another characters by 4,000, and they have to overcome that deficit. Your opponent has to be able to overcome that deficit. Now, I need to double check and make certain that it's not like a targeting effect. Sorry, I realize I'm going back over these double rares and whatnot. Choose a character, so that targets. To my understanding, that will target. So if they have hexproof, it doesn't matter. Or if they are not able to be targeted by stuff. So, let's see. There's quite a few red cards, but I think we'll take a look at a couple more here. So, 46, 47, Naming Megumin. Okay. Actually, I have to see that one after reading that name. Fuck it. Let's do 5 more. Let's see if we can get through the rares. Okay, so Feeling Happy Wiz is a 0/0/500 power. All of your other characters in front row gain 5. Your character in the front row center slot gets 500 power, and she does an additional 500 power to the characters in front of her. So, depending on placement of the stage, one character is going to have plus 500, and one character is going to have plus 1,000. So, that's pretty cool. Naming Megumin. Okay, yeah, she's stuffing her face. She's like, give me food. So, 0/0/1K. When it's placed from hand to stage, choose one of your other characters with adventure or magic. They get 1,000. Then, okay, it's having the same, like, coin flip simulator thing. Okay. When this becomes... Oh, no. It's not like coin flip. It's another... plussing effect, though. When this becomes reversed in battle, reveal the top card of your library. If it's level 2 or higher, put it in your hand. So yeah, that is like another one of the whole quote-unquote coin flip simulator effects. For anyone who didn't understand my explanation of that before, it's where you purposely have a higher level 2 and level 3 count so that effects like these go off. So it's usually like a 50-50 shot that an effect like this is going to go off. So that's why it's the whole coin flip. Anyway. Like the chance of... because it doesn't have to pay any other cost other than getting reversed, you're a little bit better off. The fact of this having only 1,000 power as opposed to the 3,500 that the other level 0 had makes it so this is going to go off a hell of a lot easier. In fact, your opponent may side against this so that you don't plus off of it. So that's actually kind of cool. And the little extra buff is not bad. So, Lying in Wait Union. Okay, that is a very happy face. She is adorable. Okay, 0/0/1500. Let's see. When this is placed from hand to stage, you can pay 1 and put the top card of your library into your clock. If you do, search your library for up to 1 Megumin. Reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your library. Now, this does not state a card with Megumin in its name added to your hand. This straight just says up to 1 Megumin, which to my understanding is going to be... There was a level 3 from the first set that was just named Megumin. So, basically, this is only going to grab that level 3. So that's kind of cool because that level 3 was good, but it's only going to grab that. But then the second effect works with it anyway. So it has a resonance ability, which is going to be like at the beginning of your climax phase. No. Okay, so no, this is a act ability. Okay. So a resonance act ability, so you pay 1 stock and reveal a level 3 Megumin. So this searches the card that it resonates with, which is really good anyway. Look at up to 4 cards from the top of your library. Search for up to 1 character with either adventure or magic. Reveal it, put it into your hand, put the rest into your waiting room. If you have stock on the first turn to be able to do like both of these effects, you can basically plus like a mug. That's not bad. I think the Megumin ended up being... Yeah. If I remember correctly, the level 3 Megumin that this is talking about was the one that... people ran the most of, as far as at least our buddy Taylor ended up running this a lot. It ended up being a really expensive card, the level 3 that I'm thinking of. So being able to use this and plus as much as you're going to be able to is really good. The fact that you don't actually end up using any cards from hand means at the right at level 0, go ahead, use some stock or whatever, and all the way up to level 3, you're going to be able to do this every single turn and plus off of it, more than likely. A little extra mill, fill up the waiting room, and be able to grab cards. That's pretty fucking cool. Especially if you still use the level 1 Megumin Salvager from the trial deck. 1, you may be able to get more copies of that level 1 Megumin for the salvage effect, and then still be able to, salvage quite a bit off of it and maintain some hand advantage. This is a really good card. In my personal opinion, I like it. I think it's really cool, and she's fucking adorable. So, Eyes Lighting Up Megumin, is a 1/0/45, and for each of your other characters with adventure or magic, she gets plus 500 power. So, essentially, one of the quote-unquote Taige clones, where it's a mirror effect of other cards in the past, but basically stating with a full field of adventure or magic, she could become a 1/0 6,500 power before other buffs, which is really good and really cost effective for being able to try to get over stuff. So very nice. And a Little Embarrassed Union. This is the last rare we're going to look at, just for time's sake, because I have to go through 2 colors. So, A Little Embarrassed Union is a 1/6K. If all of your characters are either adventure or magic, this gains plus 1,500 power and character encore. I actually really like that because I've been using this ability a lot with a new level 1 Silica from the movie pack. I've been using that a lot with the standby SAO, and I'm really liking that type of effect. So, and this is really easy to pull off because as long as you make the deck right, you're going to have all adventure or magic. And so she's essentially going to be a 1-drop, 7,500 power character with character encore before other buffs. If you use that Wiz we were talking about before, she's going to be a minimum of like an 8K, potentially an 8,500. So that's pretty fucking cool. And could very easily make it so your opponent has to spend more resources to use their plussing engine at level 1. So it's like, okay, you got to be able to get over this character. Have fun getting over, a minimum, like I said, at the lowest with that Wiz in the back row, 8,000 character encore character at level 1. Bitch, please, that's going to be fun. So that's it for the red stuff, except for if there was any promos, because I did state at the beginning of all this. Okay, so we have a Poochie Wiz and a Poochie Union. So we're going to go over that, and then we're going to start the blue. So it looks like there's not as many blue cards for this, so it may go a little bit quicker. So, as long as my computer loads. So Poochie Wiz, that's so cute, is a 0/0/25. When placed from hand to stage, put 2 cards from the top of your library into the waiting room. If there's at least 1 climax amongst them, this gets the ability for the turn that when this becomes reversed, if the cost of the battle opponent of this is 0 or lower, you may reverse that character. Okay. So she could become a bomb for a turn, but it's only offensively. So I say offensively because she only gets the ability for the turn. So it won't last until the end of your opponent's next turn. For having to mill a climax off of that, that would have been better to at least make it so it lasts for a whole, one of your opponent's turns. So I don't like this one as much as far as effect-wise, unless you just want the mill. To each their own. Then there's Poochie Union, which, like I said, is adorable. Okay, so it's a 0/0/25. When your other character with either adventurer or magic is placed from hand to stage, this gets 1,000 power for the turn, and this activates up to twice per turn. So just basically a little extra buff you can get if you end up playing her first, play like a back row or whatever. She can be pretty big and get over stuff. So not bad. All right. All right. So next is blue. There's quite a bit of, I say quite a bit, but there is 100 cards in the set. So it's actually only about 22 blue cards because there was only 1 promo. Yeah, so there's 22 blue cards in total in this second set with the promo. So let's go ahead and get some of these loaded up. And blue is primarily going to be, I only see Aqua and Eris. Oh, and some of the Axis Cultist stuff, because in the second season they ended up going to a town for a vacation or whatever the fuck. but the town was inhabited by all these cult members that specifically were brought in for the cult that Aqua, or the religion that Aqua is from, or whatever the fuck. So useless goddess temporarily becomes not as useless. I know, blasphemy, right? So give me 1 second for a drink. Good water. Okay, I definitely have seen this art for like a poster or something. So I think it might have been a wall scroll. So running off Aqua. So first double rare of the set is going to be one of the climax combos. So it is a 1/0 5,000 power. So climax combo, when the battle opponent of this becomes reversed, if In the Name of the Goddess is in your climax zone, you can pay the cost, which is 1 stock. If so, look at up to 3 cards from the top of your library, search for up to 3 characters with either Adventurer, Goddess, or Axis Cultist, reveal them, put them into your hand, and put the rest into the waiting room. Okay, this one's going to get analyzed a bit. Well, first off, let's pull up In the Name of the Goddess, see what the fuck this is, because she's a 1/05k in Name of the Goddess, which looks like it has an alternate art or something of that nature. Okay, so this is going to get analyzed. Okay, In the Name of the Goddess is up to 2 of your blue characters, just like that Wiz climax, and give those characters 3,000 power and +1 soul for the turn. Okay, let's go ahead and just do the math here. Assume that you have at least one of these on the field. You're going to give that 3k to her. She's going to be a 1/0 8,000 before any other buffs. Okay. I'm freaking out, but if you look at how this is going to go, sure, you have to reverse the battle opponent. You're going to have a 1/0 8,000 power character before any other buffs. I can't stress that enough. You're going to fucking reverse something unless they, have a really big ass backup at like level 2 or some bullshit, or they are AOT. Attack on Titan gets around any reverse combos basically, so fuck that. If you're fighting someone that isn't AOT, you're going to have an 8,000 power character attempting to reverse. It's going to fucking happen. And if you do, you pay 1 stock. You basically pay the stock that you just obtained from reversing with this character, from attacking with it. And then you look at up to 3 cards from the top of your library. Search for up to 3 characters with Adventurer, Goddess, or Axis Cultist. We've already established with Konosuba in general, if you know anything about the set, there are a lot of Adventurer characters. Kazuma is, Aqua is, Megumin is, and so is Darkness. So any of those cards, and that's just the ones off the top of my head. I think the Chris is Adventurer as well. I think. I could be wrong. So that's, a minimum of 4 characters. If you don't count, if the Chris is, I just can't remember it off the top of my head. Then you count Goddess characters, which, sure, that's still going to count for Aqua, but then that adds in Eris. And then Axis Cultist. And that's a whole separate little archetype as far as, like, cards that affect that, as far as, like, work off of that for the new blue cards. So you have a minimum of 5 different character names that are going to easily be able to grab off of this effect, plus a whole extra little thing with the Axis Cultist. Simply stating, depending on your deck construction, you're going to have a fuck ton of targets for this. To the point that if you don't run events and you don't hit any climaxes off of this effect, you're going to be able to get +3 to your hand. It basically breaks even because you played one from your hand, you played this from your hand, you played the climax from your hand, you paid 1 stock, technically 3 resources, to even out. And that's, like I said, that's if you don't mill any events, if you're not running any of the what was it? There was a event called Revival or something of that nature. I can't remember if that was like a level 2 or level 3 event, but it was from the first set. I thought it was pretty good. It might not have been Revival. It might have been another one. It basically gave like 2 of your characters Encore. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, so if you don't run that, if you don't run any events, and then you don't hit any climaxes off of this, which you're playing 1 climax anyway for the combo, so you can already count 1 of those out of the equation. Assuming you still have like 7 climaxes still in the deck, and you haven't seen any others, your chances of being able to plus off of this effect are very, I say break even, still. And then multiples of these, that's, like, if you somehow, like, tri-field this shit, you're not going to walk away with any extra stock, but you're going to walk away with all the hand advantage. I would not recommend dropping 3 of this by any means of the imagination, 2 at most, because you do want to get some stock in some way, shape, or form. But god damn, I don't say that word a lot. That's pretty cool. Like I know the joke is, Aqua is the useless goddess, but this is a pretty decent effect. I may be praising it more than I should, but I like it. I haven't seen this type of effect as far as like getting up to 3 characters, or up to 3 characters of this many different targets on a card before for a climax combo. I know there's cons of it. You have to be able to reverse, but you're going to have a lot of attack. You have to not hit. There's going to be the meme of, oh, I used this effect to reveal 3 climaxes. I'm sorry, that fucking sucks. Sure. And that's going to happen to someone somewhere. I've seen that happen with, what was her name? Nita Minami from Idolmaster. Someone running that, and for her you check the top 4, all 4 were climaxes. I'm not shitting you. The dude just scooped right then and there. He's just like, nope, done. I'm not doing this. Nope. So, yeah. I've seen that happen, and sure, that's going to be an issue for some people because some people's luck is craptastic. But if, like I said, you do it right, this should be pretty fucking good. I like this, and nobody should overlook this card. Personal opinion, I don't care if you don't like it. Beautiful Goddess of Water Aqua is the next double rare, since we took so fucking long on that other one. So 3/2, 9,000, 2 soul. If you have 4 or more other characters with Adventurer, Goddess, or Axis Cultist, she gets -1 level in hand. So very easy early play condition. During your turn, if all of your other characters are Adventurer, Goddess, or Axis, she gets 2,000 power. So she could be 11,000 power offensively. And when it's placed from hand to stage, you can pay the cost, which is discarding a card. If you do, put the top card of your clock into your stock. Heals with being able to get back stock. That's actually a really good early play. Because that's a very easy early play condition to essentially play an 11,000 offensive character for 1 stock and 1 card from hand. I'm cool with that. That's pretty good. So that's not much more needs to be said. If you don't see the advantages of that, something's wrong. Oh my. Eris in swimsuit. Okay, wow. Wait, what the fuck? That was it for the double rares. There are 2 double rares in the blue, and that's it, because it went straight to, unless this is a misprint, unless this is wrong. This is a rare. The next fucking shit. Okay, well, 2 double rares in blue. That's all we need, apparently. So Eris in swimsuit, 0/500. All of your characters in front of this get 500 power, and then you can pay 1, rest this, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a character with Adventurer or Goddess, put it in your hand. So, you see if you potentially get some pluses each turn. Once again, as long as you don't have a fuck ton of events, this effect's going to go off a lot easier. It just really depends on what you get. You could use this and draw into your level 1 combos, some level 3s, or you could get a crappy ass level 0. It's whatever. So, Salvation of the Soul. I did not know that it was only going to be this many double rares. I'm sorry, I'm really hung up on that. Anyway, Salvation of the Soul Aqua, 0/1000. When this is placed from hand to stage, reveal the top card of your library. If it's Adventurer, Goddess, or Axis Cultist, put it in your hand and discard a card from your hands to the waiting room. Hand filtering. Very nice. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, this is, okay, I see where this is going to combo. I'm sorry. When this is placed from hand to stage as well, you can pay 2 stock. If you do, return all cards in your waiting room to your library and shuffle your library. The reason I said ooh is because this sets up if you want to try to do that Aqua combo all over again. Oh, look, there's, if you've milled a lot, or if you want to do that first and then do this. How do I word this? Hold on one second. I'm going to get some water. Okay. So, the way this breaks down is, depending on your deck setup, you can do a couple things. There's the Eris level 1 that summons back from the waiting room. So that's pretty cool. And then there's that Aqua. the level 1 Aqua double rare that I flipped out about. So if you have the extra stock, you can play this, get back a full deck with, climaxes and all included as well, sure. But then that makes it so there's a lot more chances for to be able to have enough targets for that level 1 Aqua climax combo if you wanted to do that. I realize the downside to all this in the end is going to be you had to pay 2 stock for this. You have to pay the stock for the level 1 Aqua. So it really turns into a thing of not having the stock to be able to play a lot of stuff. So I realize that's the downside of not being able to have stock in the long run. So you have to be careful as to how much you do this. But it's essentially be able to set up for that. There's probably some other good combos to be able to set up for that in general. Like if you have other like on-play search effects or what was it? Like I said, there was a darkness that's like the on reverse search climax combo if you wanted to do that effect. And then the hand filtering is really good. So this is actually pretty decent double rare. And this being completely optional makes it so if you want to do stuff like that, as far as like being able to make certain you have targets in the deck for stuff, you can do that. Now the downside also is the fact of you have to be careful if you do this, because depending on how many climaxes get thrown back into your deck, you may or may not take extra damage. So you don't want to do this a late game by any means of the imagination. It just means the chances of you canceling may not be as optimal. So it's kind of one of those. Konosuba seems like a high risk, high reward set in general to me. I don't know. I could be wrong. So Power of Magic is part of Luck Aqua. So 001K. Yay, we're getting into Brainstormers. So during your opponent's turn, all of your other characters get 500 power. Always good. Pay 1, rest 2 of your characters. Flip over the top 4 cards of your library. Put them in the waiting room. If there's at least one walking on the street Axis Cultist among them, choose a character in your waiting room with either Goddess or Axis Cultist and return it to your hand. We're going to have a Relentless Rats in this. Okay, Relentless Rats is an MTG term, which I'm going to go ahead and be pulling up this walking on the street Axis Cultist. So, okay. Oh, there's a couple. So, Relentless Rats is a term from MTG. There was a card by the same name that stated you can have any number of cards in your deck with this card's name. So you could run a deck of like 30 or 40 Relentless Rats, and it'd be completely legal because of the effect. It affected your deck construction, basically. Okay, that's ugly. You may have as many copies of cards with the same name of this in your deck. Oh, God. It's basically, it's like the Predation Titan and Invasion. It was the Predations, because they made level 1 Predation Titans as well. This is basically like the Predation Titans from Attack on Titan that get buffs for every one of the other ones on the field. So if you play 3 copies of Walking on the Street, Axis Cultist, you're going to have, basically I'm going to go ahead and do the math for you. Drop 3 copies of this, you're going to have 3 level 0 characters with 4,000 power. So, because it gives all of your other ones buffs. Now, if you throw down 5 copies of this, God forbid, you're going to have level 0s that are each 7,000 power. Yes, I'm doing that math correctly because they're 1,000. Then there's going to be 4 others on the field, each giving 15, which is going to equal out to, math is 6,000. That's if you do that. You're not going to want to do that. I'm just going to tell you right now. But that means if you wanted to use this Brainstormer, oh, that was in the name of the goddess thing. If you want to use this Brainstormer like a Climax, you're probably going to want to run at least 8 copies of Walking on the Street Axis Cultist. So it's almost as if you have like a Brainstormer focused around those as the climaxes you would normally mill for other Brainstormers. So it can work out. It just really depends on what you want to set up for your level 0 count. Otherwise, it's pretty good. It's pretty decent for like a salvager effect because it only grabs back Goddess or Axis Cultist. So unless you make like a mono blue deck, you're not going to be able to run with all the adventurers like I mentioned before, because the only goddess characters that I know of are Aqua and Eris. And then you're going to have the Axis Cultist targets anyway. And if that means there's a level 0 Relentless Rats for this, the other Happy Smile Axis Cultist is probably going to be another one. Maybe. I don't know. But it's probably going to be a level 1. I don't care. We're pulling it up anyway. Yep, level 1, 0 cost, 4,000. And when this attacks, choose a card in your opponent's front row that isn't Axis Cultist, and that character gets 1,000 power for the turn. Okay. So then these will get buffs from the other level 0s. If you have those level 0s back row, this will be like a 7k or some bullshit like that. So you can pull some really BS stuff around Aqua's cult following. That's kind of disturbing. Alright, so that was 83. Alright, so we're probably about to wrap this up here in just a bit. I'm just seeing if there's any other rares that I may have overlooked as far as this. Since I kind of skipped extra rares in the red, there's probably more in there. Aqua in Swimsuit is also rare if you have another Troublemaker Aqua. That was from the first set. I want to say that was a Brainstormer. I could be incorrect on that, but that was a card from the first set. So if you have her, she gains 3,000 power, which is kind of nice. I can't remember what that Aqua does, but that means if you have that back row, which a lot of people did, you'd have a 107k. So fucking Aqua, why do you get so big? And then, okay, yeah, we have one more rare we're going to go over real quick, and we'll probably cut it here. So, Fist of Fury Aqua, 3/2, 10k, 2 soul. God, this is going to be a lot. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this climax. Fury of the Goddess. Oh, shit. Yeah, there's like one more climax combo in the set. So, okay, well, we'll go through that a different day. We're just going to go ahead and establish this. 1/0 draw trigger. Or 1,000 power and a soul to all your characters and a draw trigger. When this is placed from hand to stage, draw up to 2 cards and discard a card. Already starting off strong because I like that effect. At the start of the climax phase, choose up to 3. Up to 3 walking on the street Axis Cultists, which is that level 0, in the waiting room and put them face up under this card as a marker in any order. When this attacks, if Fury of the Goddess is in the climax zone, your opponent puts the top X cards of his or her library in the waiting room. If there is okay, so it's top X cards. If there is at least one climax card amongst them, choose a level 3 or lower character opposite this and put it in the clock. X equals the number of markers under this. At the end of the turn, put all markers from under this in the waiting room. So one turn, she gets the markers, she buffs herself. She doesn't buff, I'm sorry. She makes it so she has the chance of being able to clock shoot. And that's pretty cool. It brings up another thought. How do I put this? If you do this effect and you then refresh like afterwards or whatever, you have the chance of being able to compress some with getting all those markers under her. But you don't have to pay extra stock other than what you pay to play the card. And then as long as your opponent your opponent can mill up to 3 cards because of the number of markers can only be up to 3. And then if there's at least a climax, you just automatically throw the character opposite her into clock, and then she does her damage. That's kind of insane. One, making your opponent forcibly mill like that can always work out in your favor. Because how many times have you ever seen your opponent just triple cancel and off of 3 climaxes that are just right on top of the deck? I know I have. So being able to do that would actually be kind of cool. Pardon me once more for more water. Water, because aqua. Anyway, bad jokes. So it makes me think that this is more of like just like a joke effect, because one, you're making like a whole deck based around just like the Axis Cultist and shit, but it could still be something that's viable. I hate to put it that way, But it really can. It really has the chance of being able to do crazy shenanigans. Even if you don't clock shoot, you make your opponent forcibly mill, which can put you in a good position. More often than not, in my personal opinion. But, make it so, especially if your opponent mills more than one climax, your chances of doing damage are that much better. And then you're still doing damage on top of that for zero cost other than having the climax there. And the way it'll work out, because I've learned this effect recently, I've learned this ruling recently, you declare it as a frontal. So even though your opponent no longer has if this effect goes off and you clock shoot them, and your opponent no longer has a character in an empty slot in front of this Aqua, it still only does it doesn't do extra damage off of there being an empty, because you don't declare it as a direct, you declare it as a frontal. And that makes it so it doesn't do the extra soul damage type thing. That is what I have been told. That is what I've been told by multiple people, and I have looked up the rules. Anyway, so also this face just makes me think of looks like something out of Fist of the North Star or some shit like that. Like, she is ready to fuck someone's day. And we're going to end it on this note. So I say the end. I'm wrong. We also had to pull up the other one. So we have Poochie Eris. True, because we did have Poochie Aqua in the first set. So last card is this little promo, and that is adorable. Oh. So Poochie Eris is a 1/0/65. She cannot direct attack, and the character opposite this gains character encore. Typical of, Goddess Eris. Also is potentially Chris in disguise. Just saying. Anywho, alright. Was very interesting to say the least. This set's crazy. Like it's crazy awesome. Ugh, Drunkard Aqua, what the fuck? Ditzy Maid. Let's see. Between all Red gets a whole bunch of cards in this. Jesus Christ. Let's see. 41 to scroll. 78 is 37 cards, right? Yeah, 37 cards. So yellow gets 41, this gets 37, and then this gets all of 20 cards. So blue gets all of 20 cards, something of that nature. So thoughts of this set, from what I can remember of yellow as well. The first set was already really crazy. Sorry, I had to stretch there. The first set was already really crazy, but this set this series, I should say in general, I want season 3 of this more so I could see more Weiss cards. Not just wanting to see a season 3 of Konosuba, because that'd be fucking amazing. But I'm pulling up the Poochie Union again because she's adorable. To have it as the closing thing when I hang up here. Anywho, so yeah, look at that face. She's so cute. Anyway, so I really like Konosuba in general. For this, it is going to have a lot of other crazy cards. As you see, it does throwbacks to the first set, and I think that's what sets should do. And you'll see that more often than not, but there's been times where it's just nothing supports or adds additional support to the first set for some series, but I like that this one does. I definitely like that this is one of those that does go, hey, look, remember this level 3? This level 0 now searches it and resonates with it. Or, hey, look, you've seen this level 0. Like I said, I think the Aqua was like a brainstormer. It helps this level 1 here get even fucking bigger. So this card you already ran is going to help you, is going to be good just to have this level 1. It just the synergy. This series has such a weird-ass synergy that is just really cool. I am still trying to make a joke cabbage deck. Moroku has been wanting to make a goddess deck for fuck ever and a day now. And we're eventually going to. And that just gives us so many more options for that goddess deck. So we can try different things. And I think that's really cool. And that's one of the awesome things about Konosuba. You have a lot of options. You have a lot of synergy. And you have a lot of just crazy stuff you can do. So much flavor effects, not just flavor text, but flavor effects of cards that their effect matches the character personality or the character what they do, their powers, their abilities, and stuff like that. I really like this set. I really like Konosuba in general, and this set just makes it all the more fun. I think we're going to really enjoy it. I really hope it does a lot of things to mess with the meta when it comes out, even more so than it does already. So, in my personal opinion. Anyway, thank y'all very much for listening. If you stayed this long, subscribe if you want. If not, thanks for staying this long. It's really awesome. I'm going to see if I can pre-record some podcast stuff, especially with like Apocrypha confirmed. We went over ReZero before already. And then with this, we'll basically have covered all the sets that are confirmed for English as of the time of the recording of this video. So basically look forward to an Apocrypha set review at some point, or set discussion. I'm see who all else wants to get in on it and actually get other people in it to record, not just a Billy solo cast. But yeah, so podcast uploads are only going to be but so frequent anymore because of my job. Anyway, once again, thank you very much for watching. Once again, also, if there was any cards I just wasn't able to go over, or if there's any cards that you feel need to be need some notice or need some recognition, please comment it in the comment section. Let other people know about it, and let's support Weiss Schwarz. Let's get this game even bigger than it already is, and I want this game to grow a whole lot. Anyway, thank y'all for watching, and have a freaking awesome day, and we will see y'all on the flip side. Peace.